Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I'm getting ready to paint a flying hawk on a wood plaque here. I'm putting out a little bit of acrylic paint. This is apple barrel paint, and this particular color is called nutmeg brown. And what I've done here is I took a wood plaque and I put down a pattern, and then I engraved the pattern in, and I peeled off the pattern paper. Then I stained the piece of wood, and now the stain is dry and it's ready to paint. I mix my own paint colors for the most part. I buy basic colors, and then I can make them darker or lighter with black and white. Or I can make tones thereof with various colors. But for this one, my hawk is going to be kind of a red tail hawk. And we're going to take a little of that brown. We're going to put some white paint in it to tone it down a little bit. And we start with a little bit of white, and then we can always add more if we need to. But I'm going to start there and take my palette knife and just go to mixing that around. Make it kind of a reddish tan color. I just mix my paints right up on the silicone mat. They wipe off pretty good. If I'm using dyes, that's what you see the different colors there on my mat. When I use dyes, it tends to dye my silicone mat, but it don't hurt it. Wipe off my palette knife. And I'm going to come in with my micro brush. Now these micro brushes I get from Wilbur Gourd Farms. It's a little sponge tip on the end of this, and it doesn't look like much, but it gets into all the nooks and crannies and lays the paint in good. It holds a lot of paint. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm laying down my base color on here, on the bird. The base color is this reddish tan. Once I get the base in, then I can add the highlights and give the illusion of feathers and do all kinds of things to him. But he has to start out getting the base coat. You got to have something to work with. I like to come in right on the edges first, lay in a line. I call it a defining line. I don't know, what schooled artist would call it. I've not been schooled in art. I just know what pleases me. Right on the line, right on the inside of the line, I should say. Lay in that paint. Then I fill in the middle. And I just use kind of a little circular motion to lay the paint in. Let's do this wing. On these narrow parts, I just kind of fill in as I go, because you do one side of the line, do the other side of the line, it sort of fills in the middle. Do the lower part of the wing here. Doesn't take very long to paint one of these. So I stay off that beak part, and he's got some feet down here I'm going to stay off of too. Because we're going to use a different shade for those. There's little narrow places. If you was trying to use a brush you'd be making a big mess. These micro brushes are perfect for getting in all these little small places on these designs. My patterns I also get from Wilbur and Gourd Farms. It's the peel and stick. They have all kinds of different patterns there. Alright, so we got the base coat laid in. Now I'm going to want a little bit of white out on the palette. Because he's going to have some white tips to the feathers on him. And that will blend in with more of that tan. That's why I'm not taking that tan up off the table. It's going to be used some more. And I'll show you what I mean. We take this white, and we're going to come in here. So the tips of these feathers, I'm just going to touch them with a little white. Run a little white down the edge of the wing. Now, that looks harsh, doesn't it? It's like, wow, talk about white. Okay, we don't want it that white. We're going to blend it into the tan that we've already got on there. And if it looks like it's still just a little bit too light, we can come in with a little more tan and just touch right along and blend it a little more. See that? That's how simple it is. Folks try to make way too much out of it. Say, oh, I can never do that. Yes, you can. If I can do it, you can do it. It just takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. Now, that looks bold. We don't want it to look bold. So what we're going to do is just take the brush. Look how I just push that up in that tail, and then I pull back down with the tan. I push it back up, and I pull back down. Push up and pull down. Don't want to get it on the feet. So I just ease around, and every once in a while wipe my brush off a little bit. And go at it again. Or just blending it into that tan that's on there. It's like that. Saying if it looks a little bit too harsh, pick up just a touch of tan and blend it. Run it with that white right up the feather. Just like that. Now we got another wing over here to do. Right along. Just dotting it in right along the bottom part of that wing. Now we'll come in with the tan. We're just going to blend. Just take the harshness out of it. And I want a little white up here on the head. Whoa, that's way too much white. So we're going to come in with a little more tan. Calm that down. Wow. Lighten up the head just a little bit. Let's get just a pinch white. There we go. Make his head just a little bit lighter than the body. We can take just a little bit of this white, dot it around on the body, and go to blending. Come in with a little bit of tan, tone it down. We'll spot up here on the wing. Needs a little more. And there we go. Now I've got the beak, the eyes, and the feet to do yet. And those are going to be black. I'm just going to take my brush and put it in the paint in the jar, going at this raw. Little touch of black for the eyes. Run a little bit down that beak. A little bit on the feet. And then I'm going to take a smidge of this tan and blend it with that black to tone that down just a touch. Maybe just a little bit more. Wow, it sure looks different on the camera than it does in person. Okay, there you go. Flying Hawk. As soon as it's dry, it'll be ready for Krylon. Once I get the Krylon sealer put on it, then that dries and I will put my initials and date to it, and that piece is ready to rock. So there you have it. And if you enjoyed this, leave a thumbs up. Share it on your social media so everybody gets to see how to be creative. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. You're welcome as a subscriber on my channel. I try to support everybody that subscribes to me. And let's see, what else do I need to tell you? I guess there's only one thing left to say, and that's Brenda's Crafting. Be like Brenda.